ඉතින් අපි ඒ කතා බහේ සිටියේ සුමුදු විරක් කොඩිත් සමග විනාඩි කීපයක් අපි හිතුවට වඩා කාලේ තරමක් ඉස්සරහට ගියා. ඉතින් අපි මින් අනතුරුවත් අපි තවත් සුවිශේෂී කාන්තා චරිතයක් සමග කතා කරන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා. සුවිශේෂී කතා බහක් සහ ඇය මේ එංගලන්තයේ තුල සහ ශ්‍රී ලංකාව වෙනුවෙනුත් විශේෂී වැඩ කොටසක් කරන කාන්තාවක්. ඉතින් දැන් මේ කාන්තාවන් ගැන කතා කරද්දී අපිට මතකයට නිරන්තරයෙන්ම එන අතීතයේ කාන්තා චරිත ගොඩක් තියෙනවා. ක්ලියෝපැට්‍රා ගත්තොත් ඒත් එක්කම ඉන්දිරා ගාන්ධි, මාග්‍රට් තැචර්, ඒත් එක්කම ලංකාවේ සිරිමා බණ්ඩාරනායක වැනි චරිත අපිට මතක් කරන්නට පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඒ චරිත වගේම තමයි වර්තමානයේ මේ එංගලන්තයේ ජීවත් වෙමින් තමන්ගේ දායකත්වයේ තමන්ගේ වෘත්තීය හරහා ඒත් එක්කම සුවිශේෂී කැපවීම් රාශියක් සිදු කරමින් ඒත් එක්කම ලංකාවට විශාල සේවයක් කරන කාන්තාවක් තමයි මීළඟට අපි කතා බහට එක්කාසු කරන්න ගන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. ඇය නමින් සුමුදු ගොඩගම මාව පිළිගන්නවා. Ayubowan to you, Dr. Sumudu Godagma.
Hello, Ayubowan. Lovely to be on today.
Yeah, and it's my pleasure to have you my program, and it's a great privilege, of course, to have a discussion with you. And at the same time, I must apologize for a little delay. Of course, when you line up the certain programs, that happens. Anyway, now, without taking much of your time, I would like to ask you about the Women's Day. Of course, not those general questions, but before we go into Women's Day, I like to express yourself about your involvement as a woman in the society and what kind of work you do at this point of time.
Oh wow, where do I begin? It's a quite open-ended question, but I'd say the biggest contribution that I make as a woman in this society is to my two daughters as a mother. So that I'll have to say right from the beginning. So in terms of the work that I do, I am self-employed. I work as an acupuncturist and Ayurvedic practitioner. So I run a private practice and I work from home. So I'm a mother who works from her home. And I also write books, illustrated children's books, and also I do dabble in some charity work as well.
Excellent. You play many roles in your life.
I have indeed. It's been quite a plethora of different things that I've sort of dipped my toes into. From a young age, we were very much involved in cultural shows, and I play music, sort of Sri Lankan classical music, and so that's always put me on top of stages and performances and in front of crowds. So this is something that I would say that I enjoyed as a young person growing up in Britain.
A multi-skilled woman, I would say. Then, as a multi-skilled woman, what does International Women's Day means to you, if I ask you that?
Right, well, what I could possibly say is in relation to what I found myself doing now. I've just turned 40, and I think it's the kind of age where you've really found who you are or discovered a little bit more about what you want from life and where you're going. So in terms of the work that I do, which is charity and working towards empowering young children, International Women's Day represents how we can nurture and empower young girls and boys to grow into healthy, well-rounded, strong, empowered individuals. Not just individuals, but team players as well. So the health part, the well-being part is really important, and particularly mental health as well. So this is something that I work quite closely in my private practice. So for me, International Women's Day is about showing examples, having examples where young boys and girls, or say, for example, young girls can aspire and be inspired by, but also equally where young boys are growing up seeing young girls, seeing grown, women engaging in all aspects of life. And this is something that is really happening, I think, now on a global scene. People are much more coming out and being quite fearless about what their ambitions are. Young girls are doing this. And at this point, I'll have to put a shout out to Nishi, who won the recent Sri Lankan girl, who won the recent Child Genius Award. So her speech was very powerful, quite empowering for young girls. So well done, Nishi, for putting that out. So I think it's really important that this is encouraged more and more, and we're seeing, celebrities coming forward, and people like Michelle Obama. You've got people in the music industry speaking up about women's rights and things like that. So to me, it's about children being able to see that example, and I think that's something that previous generations weren't able to have in their life, really. So that's the first thing. There is another aspect to International Women's Day that I feel quite strongly about, and I think that's more to do with my background and how I was raised. So this is more sort of my personal view, really. And I think that celebrating International Women's Day is not about being individualistic. So
Exactly.
It's not just a celebration of women.
Yeah.
So I was raised by a very strong male figure, my father, who is like a mentor. He's a guru, he's my master, he's my father, and he's my friend. And I also have two brothers as well. And actually part of who I am today is very much in gratitude to having very strong male influences, men who celebrate women. And so I think it's really important to bring men into this dialogue, really, to invite men into this dialogue to celebrate women. And I think it's about redefining masculine roles, looking at how it was in the past and how it's evolving and changing. It's really quite exciting. So I'd like to put that out as well, that it's also about men.
Now, Sumudhu, as far as you're concerned, what are the women's themes that still need to greater awareness, in your opinion, I would say?
I think that it's a really interesting question, because whilst International Women's Day has become about, women, female empowerment, and looking at, key figures of women who have done really rich and interesting and exciting things in life and challenged their gender roles. I think that if we look at the scheme of things, like how women's rights started back in the 1800s with the suffragettes, and how far we've come a very long way.
Yeah, let me interrupt you for a second.
Yeah,
now,
sure.
Even of course, like the United Nations announced in 1975 globally the Women's Day as 8th of March. Right? Even 2019, still the Women's Day theme is Think Equal, Build Smarter, Innovative for Change. How do you see those? Because that means still we are, talking about Think Equal.
Yeah, I think it's, to be honest, my personal opinion is it's a bit of an old conversation. And also, what is equal? I think that we need to move away from trying to think that everything has to be divided right into the middle. For example, when it comes to being a woman and how you define your roles of, are you a working mum? Are you a stay-at-home mum? What do you choose for yourself, right? When it comes to education, equal rights to vote and accessibility to healthcare, all these things, that is a given. We can talk about that as equal rights, and that we can close the lid on that. But in terms of our equality to men, how we relate to men, I think it's very much of a yin-yang relationship, where one is interdependent upon the other. So it's difficult to segregate men and women as separate sort of, entities. So I think that equality thing maybe needs to be clarified a little bit more.
Now, because why I asked that question, because even after so many years, almost after the 43 years, still we are talking about the, sometimes when you look at it between the lines, the same theme, just carrying on for years to years, Now, leaving that subject, I would like to, go into different area. Like now,
sorry, could I just interrupt you just kind of go back on that?
Yeah.
I think that in some ways, just to defend why it's still there, because I think that we live in a bit of a cocooned environment here in Great Britain. I think that I myself, I'm not exposed to certain things that women in other countries are exposed to. So in some respect, it probably still needs to be part of the conversation of that equality of rights for women, because there are so many women globally who don't experience that freedom and liberty that I'm privileged to experience.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you. Yeah.
So it still needs to be there. Yeah.
Definitely. Now, now when it's come to women, like they because you are a professional. Of course, you said you work from home, but you play many roles in your life, right? And what women's themes are, impacting most, in your home or work, like what kind of thing, like let's say day-to-day work, right?
Right.
How it's impacting you and your life.
I would say that I feel pretty fortunate to be able to be in a situation where I'm working from home, and being able to sort of have some sort of, comfort. I'm not having to go into an office. I'm not having to beat the traffic and that sort of thing. But I still do, in terms of challenges or themes, for me, I call it working mum syndrome. And I think there are a lot of women out there who will know exactly what I mean when I talk about working mum syndrome. Because I was raised by a mother who went to work. So I was raised by my mother was a very traditional Sri Lankan mum. She was educated, she went to university, she got her degree, but then when she had a family, she dropped it just like that to be our primary carer. And so I have reaped the benefits of a very strong woman who was very traditional, right? And for me, my challenge is being a mother that there never was, if that makes sense.
If I put it this way, Dr. Sumudu, now the work you do, admire in relation to women's right and equality. Do you think that happens in your society or in your day-to-day lifestyle?
For me, actually, I think it's not really something that I experience or have to struggle against. The ideology of women's rights and any kind of challenge with that, I don't really personally experience that. And I think that might partly be due to the fact that I am self-employed and I work for myself, so there's a certain freedom that I don't experience certain challenges that, for example, people who work in bigger companies and setups might experience. So I can't really say I have those.
I know you have a different views about the when it's come to the culture and again, how we should I would say the adaptation to the societies. Would you like to raise your voice regards to that?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind actually. I do understand that I might be disagreed upon by certain people, and that's absolutely fine. But one thing that I think culturally, in terms of the female gender in our Sri Lankan culture, that I think we could probably do away with is the coming of age ceremony for young girls. And I think that this is something that I enjoyed it. I experienced it myself, and I'm not criticizing my parents for, celebrating this, important event or milestone in my life. But I think that the reasons why these cultural traditions or some of those rituals were put in place, they're outdated now. So, for example, I've got my two little girls, they're 5.5, and I would very happily sit with them in private and have a decent conversation about what's happening to their body, allowing them to understand the changes, the physical, emotional changes that a young girl will go through in the same way that boys should have that discussion as well. But that emphasis on girls, I think, is quite unnecessary in this day and age.
Dr. Sumudu, I want you to stay on the line because I'm going to take the last break, right?
Okay.
Then after that, we can continue for another 5 or 6 minutes because I want to touch a little bit about what you do, because you do many things for society, and you have many engagements, and you handle many projects through your the organization you represent. Right? Please stay on the line, and then we will continue the discussion. ඔබ මේ රැඳී සිටින ශ්‍රී ලංකන් රේඩියෝ ෂෝ with KP වැඩසටහන සමගින් අපි මේ සූදානම් වන්නේ අවසාන විරාමය ලබා ගන්න. ඉතින් ඔබ කොහේ හිටියත් ඔබට පුළුවන් අපත් සමග සම්බන්ධ linkfm.org කියන වෙබ් පිටුවට ගිහිල්ලා සමා වෙන්න. අද වෙන WhatsApp ප්‍රශ්න කිසිවක් අපිට ගැනීමට හැකියාවක් නැහැ. අපි මේ විරාමයට ගිහිල්ලා ඉක්මනින්ම එන්න.
Across Sheffield on 96.7, around the world at linkfm.org. This is your community station, Link FM.
रोते हुए आते हैं सब, हंसता हुआ जो जाएगा.
आज आप हंस रहे हो, क्या बात है?
तू ते हर खबर रखनी है. मिस्टर कॉम्पनसेटर ना नाते सुनिया उसे.
जी हाँ, वो टैक्सी एक्सीडेंट क्लेम वाले. अब समझिए, बड़े बड़े रेफरल और नई नई गाड़ी.
टैक्सी चाहिए? मिस्टर कॉम्पनसेटर के पास चले जाओ. 0114-386-3386 और विजिट द गोल्ड टैक्सी ऑन एबिडेल रोड, शेफील्ड.
Treat your taste buds at the new Casper's Desserts, now open on Archer Drive at Archer Road Retail Park in Sheffield. Weekdays 11 till 6 enjoy special opening offers, including any regular hot drink at just £1, plus soft drinks at happy hour prices. Selected sumptuous sundaes at just £5 and milkshakes at just £3. Terms and conditions apply. Plus there are wonderful waffles, creatively crafted crepes, smoothies and so much more. All at the King of Desserts. Casper's, now open on Archer Road, Sheffield.
Consider बड़ा स्टाइलिश सूट लाई. पाकिस्तान तो मंगाए.
बाजी पाकिस्तानों उन कपड़े मंगवाने की क्या जरूरत है. उन तो इंसाफ फैब्रिक से जो क्या कमाल नी वैरायटी ने डिजाइनर सूट, ज्वेलरी, लैसा और खुला कपड़ा भी मिलना है. इंसाफ फैब्रिक तो सूट की नो तो उठू सवाई की नो.
इंसाफ फैब्रिक साले ए कुछ है ना. इंसाफ फैब्रिक 151 Wellgate, Rotherham. Telephone 01709 836 002. Mobile 07702 558 461.
यार शमरेज बढ़िया धुमा मच गया.
किस चीज दी धुमा मच गई भाई?
तेनू नहीं पता नवा मीरपुरी तवा खुल गया.
अच्छा, मीरपुरी तवा ते की मिलदा है?
पूरे तवे ते सीख कबाब, मछली, बिरयानी, चिकन, लैम्ब कढ़ाई, चिकन कढ़ाई, रोटी ते नाले नान लभदा है.
ओ तवे तो अलावा और की होना कोल?
उत्थे होर भी बड़ा कुछ लभदा है. ऊंट दा गोश्त, तितर बटेर, हेरन दा गोश्त और भी बहुत कुछ.
ओ बस हुन मैनू भी ले चलो जल्दी जल्दी.
मीरपुरी तवा 162 लंदन रोड, शेफील्ड. Telephone 01142580805.
Have you been involved in a road traffic accident or suffered a personal injury in the last 3 years? Then why not come direct to your local experts at Allison Law Solicitors? Allison Law Solicitors are here to get you back on the road and your life back on track. They're recognised personal injury and industrial disease specialists with dedicated and experienced lawyers who've won thousands of pounds in compensation. And of course, it's no win, no fee. Call now on 01142 586 966 or come in and see us at 437-441 London Road, Sheffield. Allison Law Solicitors, a local firm for local people and helping you when you need it most.
ईस्टर की छुट्टियों में अल मदीना ट्रैवल की शानदार पेशकश. अब आप पाकिस्तान में रहने वाले अपने प्यारों के साथ इकट्ठे उम्रा की सआदत हासिल कर सकते हैं. मक्का और मदीना में 5 स्टार होटल में क़याम, घर से लेके घर वापसी तक के मुकम्मल इंतजामात, वीज़ा, ट्रांसपोर्ट, होटल और मुक़द्दस मकामात की ज़ियारत सिर्फ £1100 में. मज़ीद मालूमात के लिए अल मदीना ट्रैवल्स, 90 एबिडेल रोड, शेफील्ड. टेलीफोन 014255 9090.
Hi, my name is Haris Khan.
This is me, Humaira Basim.
My name is Gufran.
My name is Asra.
My name is Sarah.
This is Adil Mohammed, Sheffield Youth Cabinet Member.
Keep listening to LinkFM 96.7 FM.
Welcome back. You're listening to Sri-Lankan Radio Show with KP. And before the break, we were discussing with Dr. Sudharma Godagma. Especially, we are having a special discussion in regard to the World Women's Day 2019. Dr. Sudharma, hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Sorry for the interruption, by the way. We were discussing about, the cultural adaptation and certain the cultural habits. I think it's fair for me to let you continue on that, then we can move into the next question.
Okay, yeah. So I think that also one other thing that I think culturally we need to engage in and open conversations that are generally swept under the carpet or seen, particularly as for women, we might not engage in. And for example, things such as divorce and, I myself am divorced as well. So I think that it's something that in our society we could do with talking about more and not seeing it as a sort of stigma. And so, for example, when I was going through my divorce, particularly, you kind of have this kind of idea, and nobody actually said it out loud, but you get a feeling that it's something that you don't talk about, or maybe you belong to a different category now, And I think times are changing, and we need to sort of break these very outdated ideologies, which help to liberate women.
It seems to me you believe the strong women, strong voice concept.
Absolutely. Voice is very important, I think, and that starts from a very young age, allowing, young girls to say how they feel, to be validated and valued for their opinions, and it starts from childhood, really. And I have to say, one of the reasons I probably have, gathered my voice over the years is because as my parents have never diminished that in me. I've been raised with two brothers. In some ways I probably had to shout a little bit, louder, but I was always heard. And that's something that I always appreciate, that as my parental background, there was no disparity between the genders. Do you really feel that really helps, that concept, I would say, that really helps you to achieve a certain milestone? Absolutely. So it always comes down to this, because I always go back, if I'm faced with a challenge, it's usually my brothers actually who are telling me, come on, you can do this, you can do this, or you can be better than us, you can be bigger than us, And so that's something that I've always had as a background voice. So it comes back to that original conversation we had at the beginning about celebrating men who celebrate women. So yeah, it's something I've been really fortunate and in much gratitude to.
Excellent. Now, as you know, I have very limited time. Before I let you go, I want to touch a little bit about your work and your charity work and the work you are doing for the society, and especially your the work you do with children. Because I think if I didn't give that opportunity, and if I didn't share that with our community, it's not fair.
Oh, well, firstly, thank you very much for giving me this platform to talk about it. So I started alongside my husband in 2016, Ruri Foundation. So Ru and Ri, they're the first, letters from my daughter's names, Rua and Ridi. And the primary mission of the foundation is to for the prevention and education against child sexual abuse in Sri Lanka. So this is something that is actually quite a widespread issue, and what we do is we host workshops in Sri Lankan schools, and we've just come back from a mission in October where we worked with over 800 children in various different schools, and we teach them protective behaviours. So we have a team here in the UK, and we have a team in Sri Lanka as well, and we help to coordinate these sort of educational aspects that empower young children. And what protective behaviours does is it really just gives children the tools to protect themselves or be aware of dangers, to be able to know how to navigate through challenges in life, and also how to communicate problems to those that they trust, And I think it's prevention of harm coming to children starts from empowering them at a very young age. So that's where our work lies.
Excellent, and I wish you all the best for all your future projects. And finally, do you want to share anything else before we wrap up?
No, apart from thank you very much, and I hope I've been able to answer your questions in an effective way. And thank you for inviting me. I look forward to being part of your show in future endeavours.
Definitely, and I must say, it's a great pleasure to have you, and thank you very much for your time. I know you're a very, very busy woman, and
Yes.
hope you have a great evening. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
අපි අද අපගේ වැඩස්ටාන තරමක් වෙනස් වැඩසටහනක් අපි ඉදිරිපත් කරේ විශේෂයෙන්ම අපි අද ලෝක කාන්තා දිනය නැත්තම් අටවෙනිදාට නැත්තම් සිකුරාදාට යෙදී තිබු ලෝක කාන්තා දිනය මූලික කරගෙන තමයි අද අපේ වැඩසටහන අපි ඉදිරිපත් කරේ විශේෂයෙන්ම එංගලන්තයේ ජීවත් වෙන සුවිශේෂී කාන්තාවන් 4 දෙනෙක් සමග අපි අද කතා බහ කරමින් සිටියේ විශේෂයෙන්ම කාන්තාවන් අද වන විට ලෝකයේ මුහුණ දෙන තත්වයන් සහ ඔවුන්ගේ අදහස්. ඉතින් මා විශේෂයෙන්ම ස්තුතිවන්ත වෙනවා හැරෝ නගරේ නගරාධිපතිනියට කරීමා මරිකාර් මැතිනියට ඒත් එක්කම වෛද්‍ය සුමුදු ගොඩගම මැතිනියට ඒත් එක්කම සුධර්මා වීරක්කොඩි මැතිනියට ඒත් එක්කම මහේෂ් කෝකිලා මැතිනියට විශේෂයෙන්ම මේ කාන්තාවන් 4 දෙනාම අපත් සමග අද මේ වැඩසටහනට සම්බන්ධ වීම සම්බන්ධයෙන් මොකද ඔවුන් දැක්වූ සහයෝගය අපි ඉතාමත්ම අගය කොට සලකනවා. ඉතින් ඒත් එක්කම මම මතක් කරන්න ඕනේ මේ කාන්තාවන් සම්බන්ධීකරණයේදී විශේෂයෙන්ම මගේ හිත මිත්‍රය වන රුවිනි රාණතුංගත් අපි විශේෂයෙන්ම මතක් කරන්න ඕනේ ඒත් එක්කම ලුම්බිනි විතානගේවත් මම මතක් කරනවා ඔබ දෙන්නටත් බොහොමත්ම ස්තුතියි මම හිතනවා බලන් ඉන්නවා අහනවා කියලා මම දන්නවා බොහොමත්ම ස්තුතියි දීපු සහයෝගයට. ඉතින් අපි සුපුරුදු පරිදි මේ සූදානම් වන්නේ ක්‍රිකට් ටෝක් විශේෂාංගයේ සමග එකාසු වන්නටයි.
Cricket Talk with Sadun Kabugi කියන
අයිබෝවන් සදුන් ඔබට මා බැහැනවා කියලා මම විශ්වාස කරනවා. මම හිතන්නේ දුරකථනයේ විසන්ද වෙලා තියෙනවා. අපි බලමු තවත් මොහොතකින් ඔහුව අපිට සම්බන්ධ කරගන්නට හැකියාව ලැබේවි. ඉතින් සඳුන් අපි යලිත් සම්බන්ධ කරගන්නකම්